Welcome to the Gamers Inn. Come on in, pull up a chair next to the fire. It looks like you've had a long journey. I'm your host, Jocelyn, and joining me, as always, is my co host, Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
Hello. Have you heard the good word of Mario Maker? Sorry. I had that handy. I just wanted to do that. So, yes,
That
how's it
that's
going?
not bad. I'm a little bit confused by your intro there, but
That's usually what happens when somebody comes to the door, right?
that is
Like
that is true. That is
it's a
true.
Friday at 10 a.m. I'm in my PJs. I'm off the work playing Destiny, off the work.
Off the
I'm
work.
suddenly a Walmart greeter. So yeah, no, I'm anyways, moving on.
We have a fantastic guest with us tonight. It is the winner of the TGI guest spot from the Alpha Geek Indiegogo campaign. Joining us tonight, we have the one, the only, the wonderful Janice Edwards. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having the perk on Indiegogo.
Oh, you're welcome. Our pleasure. I'm really excited. We are going to talk about a whole bunch of really cool stuff tonight. We're going to get into some Destiny. We're going to get into some fall and holiday releases. But first, Janice, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am new to gaming, as in I graduated college the year the PC came out. Now
Really?
I just dated myself. Yes.
Oh, cool.
So I've come into gaming late. I got into gaming when I looked at a friend's computer and he was playing World of Warcraft, and I thought that was the most beautiful thing I had seen.
World of Warcraft, I feel like, is a lot of people's like gateway drug. It came out at
Yeah.
like just the right time.
Yes. I also played some, got interested in some first person shooters, and I'm not going to think of it right now. And yes, I had a knock on my door a little while ago, and a package dropped, and I have a statue of the orc that is in front of Blizzard. I've had a subscription enough that they sent me the lovely little
Wow, you were one of the
orc.
people that got the
Wow.
10-year statues?
Yes, and I didn't have to buy it off eBay like Scott did.
That's great. You just it's so man. See, I feel bad because I played WoW like when it launched and then was sporadic. So I think if I had just dropped like another maybe I'd say probably only like maybe a couple hundred that I missed out on. Like that's how long I've been subscribed. So that statue looks so cool and would go so well with all the other little statues I have. So that's awesome.
So how
Uh,
much do they go for on eBay? Like, could you just like figure it out how much subscription time you missed and then somehow like justify it to Ashley?
Probably not, because I think they're going on eBay. Like they're limited quantities, and anybody who put that amount of time and effort into World of Warcraft for 10 years, like to see them sell that, I could see it maybe like probably like over 1,000. That
I
might
would be,
lowball it.
yeah, I would be shocked if they were under 1,000 because really, yeah, you're right. Like 10 years of WoW subscriptions, that's like a lot of dollars. I can't imagine somebody just parting with that and being like, yeah, whatever. I've been subbed to WoW for 10 years, but I don't really like it that much, so I'm just going to sell my statue.
That would be.
Yes, and it was like, I don't want to think about what that's sub cost for 10 years. Just not, that's entertainment value, and I've
Yeah.
gotten to know some real good friends, and
So,
People see a movie once a month, let's say, like that's way more than $15. So I've always seen the WoW subscription as like you're gonna spend a bunch if you're a gamer, you're spending a lot of money on video games, like and $15 a month to play one video game is nothing compared to what a lot of people are spending, especially if you're living in Canada where things cost an extra $15 for each little thing you buy.
that
So
is true.
yeah, if I was just there were moments when I was only playing WoW and I was only spending $15 a month on my hobby, and those were good months.
Oh
So
my god. Stop the presses. Jim in the chat room says there's one of the statues on eBay with a buy it now price of $350. Gotta go.
what? 350, Tweep saying 235.
What?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Some people just, I don't know, maybe their significant others have said you're not allowed to have any more Warcraft crap. We have enough statues in this house.
That's crazy.
Oh man, I want to look at, not that we don't believe you, Jim, but I really want to look at this and I'm totally not buying it right now.
I'm just looking, trying to get a closer look at it. Like the
Yeah.
only way I could explain $350 for a new did they get like a little poop on it maybe? Like
well,
Does it have a little poop on it, really?
well,
talk to Scott. He was saying that he could 3D printer some stuff.
Huh.
oh yeah, You get it, and it's just like plastic. It
Yeah.
just falls apart in your hands. No, that's an expensive piece of plastic.
Oh man.
I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm sure they'll sell them at some point, like some equivalent statue. Um, but yeah, eBay, man.
Very, very cool. So you said you've been playing WoW for like 10 years. So do you play both sides? Did you start Alliance, go Horde? Did you start Horde, go Alliance?
I started Alliance because the friend at work had an Alliance, and I started as a druid, as a healer, and then I switched jobs, and they needed a mage, and so I'm gonna plug my name and my Twitch channel, Lady Deathstrike, but it was too long, so I took the vowels out.
Which is such a cool, like when you sent it to me in an email, like, oh yeah, here's my handle. I was like, I don't really get it. And then you're like, it's Lady Deathstrike without any. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. It's from the person who is terrible at naming all the things, who's just her name with plays on the end. This is just Lady Deathstrike is so cool.
So I have Lady Death Knight with no vowels, and that's my current main. And then my Twitch channel is Lady 50 because Lady Deathstrike was sort of long. So you'll see me in channels in Twitch channels as Lady 50.
Oh yeah,
And
I've seen you all over the place, and it's LDY, right? It's not full day. Yeah, so LDY50 if you guys want to go follow her, which you totally should. It's really exciting that you're getting into the whole podcasting, streaming, putting yourself out there thing. Is there, anything specifically that you're going to be talking about, or anything that you are aiming to do with your channel?
I want to do Hearthstone. I want to get to Legend. I haven't had put the time in. I want to help with people learning that. I'm really bad at heroes. I just run around and die a lot. I really liked you twitching Until Dawn. And I probably won't twitch Destiny because I'm really bad first person shooter. I yell a lot. And do podcasts, just sort of see what's out there and with the gaming and put a little different perspective on it.
Very, very cool. So you mentioned playing Destiny, which is awesome because that's the game we're going to talk about with what we're playing. Because I think all three of us actually had a hand at Destiny, and we're in 3 different places, I think. So I started at the very beginning. I played through the demo. Ryan, I think you had Destiny right from the beginning. So you have like a level higher than me character.
Yeah.
You're like, I think I saw you at like 30, 35 or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm at 35. Like I had picked it up. The game unfortunately came out. I was really looking forward to it being a Bungie fan, and it came out like 2 weeks before the wedding. And then I played like a week, and I was like, this is fun, but I've got to do prep for bigger things. And then like I got back from the honeymoon, everyone just stopped playing. So, but I did pick it back up just a week ago, and I'm back. I'm all in. So it's fantastic.
Janice, you mentioned you just got the Destiny bundle with your PS4, right? So you just picked that up recently, right?
Yes, I just picked the PS4 up on Thursday. No, it was Wednesday. I set it up on Thursday. Took 4+ hours to download all the stuff.
Yep. It's a big first day, that's for sure.
I remember that.
And I started playing on Friday. First time ever playing. I do have a friend that plays it a lot, but I tried not to ask him questions until Sunday.
So where did you end up? What level are you at?
I'm at 33.
Oh, Ryan.
I rolled a hunter, but the problem is I started at 1, but with the expansion you get an auto level to 25.
Oh, okay.
So did you go 25 to? No, you said you started at 1, but you do have.
I leveled to 2, and then you get to the tower.
Yep.
And then you look in the mailbox, and then you have the thing to jump you to 25.
Oh, okay, I see. So you skipped everything from 2 to 25, and then you leveled from 25 to 33.
Well, I'm going back, and do I get to say where I'm stuck?
Sure.
Yeah.
I have no quests. So there's 2 quests that I got. So I just decided to do all the low-level quests because I'm just sort of a completionist. Mm-hmm. So I did the level quests. I think it scales to your level because I'm at the last boss of the 2 quests, and I'm doing it by myself. I have no friends, doing it by myself, and I can't get the last boss. So I go, okay, I've done MMOs. Let me go do some more stuff. Maybe I need more gear and stuff. And I have no other quests are available to me.
Yeah, the game is really weird in that it's I jumped back in from scratch at level 1 before Taken King came out. So we had the Destiny 2.0 patch, but we didn't have that jump. So when I came in, it felt very linear in that they gave you the quest and you just kept following the goalposts until there was no more content or until Taken King came out. Or well, until you gave them $80 so you could play the expansions in the Taken King. But I would find it interesting, yeah, to boost to 25 and then it sounds like they still give you those quests to kind of do the old content. And in terms of they do scale the content a little bit, but I wonder if that where you're stuck is maybe you're trying to do there are specific missions called strikes that have they require multiple people. So I'm wondering if maybe that's the boss that you're stuck on because even with 3 people doing those strikes, it was like World of Warcraft where you're not used to it when you play like say Halo or other first person shooters where when you shoot something it takes a couple bullets to the head and it does a funny animation and dies, whereas in Destiny you have to shoot something sometimes like for good on 20 minutes and it's sometimes the worst thing in the world. But it's MMO, right? That's just how it works. So I think I was doing a strike and the boss was like this giant robot with a big shoot me here button on its chest, and me and my allies were sitting there for like 10-15 minutes just shooting this thing in the chest while dodging ads. Maybe that's what was going on. You were fighting a boss on a strike instead of a mission, but I find it weird that that you have no quests. That's unfortunate.
So I did my reading and research, and so
Mm-hmm.
you can go to the planets. Right
Sure.
now I'm back to Cosmodrome since it's low level and just doing, the side quests and stuff, but I'm still stuck.
Aw.
But the stuff's dropping level appropriate gear, which is why I think all the stuff has been, looks at my level and then does it, auto scales.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the gear drops, from what I read, the gear drops auto scale. So you are getting, no matter what you're doing, you're getting loot for your level. So with the boost to 25, like, yeah, you're getting loot. Have you tried going to different planets, like to the moon, which
I've
isn't
been
a
to the
planet?
moon and I've got one stuck at the moon. Got
Perfect.
one stuck at I want to say Cosmo, whatever the first one, the starter
Earth,
zone.
or yeah,
Earth, yeah,
the Cosmodrome or something.
Yeah, and I haven't gone to another planet because I would just do strikes and yeah, I'm sort of stuck. I mean, I could go do that, but I'm not finding quests.
Yeah. So what? Before we get too far into it, what classes did you guys actually choose? Because I ended up choosing a warlock, which was not normally the kind of thing that I would choose. I literally saw hunter and I was like, I always hunt things. I should totally do that. And then I scrolled over to warlock and it was like talking about like bending the universe, and I was like, sweet, yes, please. So
Yeah.
what roles did you guys pick?
I went Hunter, but it's Janice, you picked Hunter as well, so I'm interested
Yeah.
to hear what you think
I'm
about.
so glad I did something
class.
different.
Yeah, I did a Warlock when I first started like a year ago, and they're a badass class. But what do you think of the Hunter, Janice, being your first sort of class in Destiny?
I like it. I like the turning into a ghost and then meleeing everything down like crazy, like a crazy banshee. I like that. I like it.
You can go invisible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's
it's
and you
pretty
can run
cool.
around real fast. It's cool. And I like it. I mean, I looked at all the stuff. They can all do melee. They can all shoot stuff. My friend that I asked, he said probably a pistol or sniper rifle because I think they're supposed to be more at range than actually getting up in there and being melee. But since I like playing a tank in World of Warcraft, I sort of can't resist going in there and punching stuff in face, especially when it dies faster than when I shoot it.
Yeah,
I found that really interesting when you get the choice of your weapon right when you're at the tower. it was really, really cool to me. I'm like looking at all the different descriptions, and it's like, this is good if you're like writing a big, huge like bunch of ads, and then this one's really good if you're wanting to shoot from far away, like sniper rifle style. Then you have like hand cannons and shotguns that are better for like really, really close range. And I was just like, it's really cool that these are all, because it was like the get your weapon warlock quest, and it's like I can basically take my class and then play it any way that I want to. If I want to be somebody who gets way up close, I can do that. If I want to be someone who's way far away, I can do that too. So it was really, really neat. And then I would get in these fights and I would get absolutely swarmed. And then it's like, it pops up and it's like, press whatever it is, R1 or something to melee. And all of a sudden I'm just like, boom, force push. And I was like, I have the coolest melee attack ever.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous. I remember when I was a warlock, the force push is really cool. But the reason
so
I went,
cool.
yeah, it's pretty good. But the reason I went hunter was because you get a ranged melee that recharges. So depending on the subclass you pick, because each class has two subclasses when you start. So did you just pick the default that it gave you, or did you go in and kind of switch?
I did pick the default. There was only one available to me, and I'm wondering if that's because it's the demo.
Oh yeah, the demo probably.
Yeah.
What about you, Janice? Did you go in and flip the switch, or did you just stick with the gunslinger for the hunter?
No, I flipped the switch because I read a post before I started playing, and it said best thing to do because then you get the shell. Because I guess the hunter eventually gets the shell that protects. No, gets the one that chains mobs.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, that I think that's a subclass so yeah, because you boosted and did some Taken King stuff, you probably switched to the new subclass that
Yes.
the hunters have, which is I don't know, maybe it's like something to do with void powers, but it's basically summed up with a purple bow and arrow, and it's all just this like shadowy bow and arrow. I haven't even got that yet. I started to level up as the subclass was the gunslinger, which basically allowed you. The coolest thing is you could throw a knife, so your melee actually, as it regens, can become, rather than a force push, it becomes you just chuck a knife, and it's super satisfying when you nail someone in the head with that, and they die, and it's like raid over, everybody.
Because I just
But
knifed a dude in the face.
yeah, without even getting up all close and personal. But I ended up switching to the Blade Master because I didn't really like the gunslinger, which is basically the golden gun power. I much preferred the get in everybody's face and just chop suey as much as you can. It's just really cool, and I think that's the best way I described Destiny when I first started playing it, when they were advertising it, was that it felt like the powers of Mass Effect made into a whole game, but more action packed as opposed to Mass Effect being more cold and calculated. It felt like this was just utter mayhem, shooting guns, felt like a really good first person shooter.
Well, yeah, because you
And
don't
yeah.
have to do any, like with Mass Effect, because that was how I felt too. You know, like I've got my gun, I'm shooting things, and then all of a sudden I can do like magic powers, and that was really cool. But in Mass Effect, you've got like all your squad organization, and you're telling people who to attack, and you've got that level of combat, and you don't have that. You're just a solo first person shooter thing in Destiny, so you don't have that level of my cat's going crazy right now. You don't have that level of kind of extra combat stuff going on, so it feels like a much more streamlined experience. And I mean, I literally sat down to play Destiny and I had no problems whatsoever. From like as soon as I sat down, I have had issues with every single other game I've gone to play on the PlayStation. This one I just sat down and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like before it even told me what the reload button was, I was like, boom, reload. Like it was exactly where I thought all the controls were supposed to be. They did what I thought they were supposed to do, and I was just like, yes, finally a PlayStation game I can sit down to and just play. Like I really enjoyed, I mean, I only had a couple hours in it, but I really, really enjoyed my experience. Once I got it going, I had some issues today, but
And keep in mind, you do have to mash the touchpad button to get the nav mode to open up, but it's not as key. I remember like where's the map button?
oh yeah.
So if you
I'm
do
getting
mash
more and
that-
more used to understanding that the touchpad actually is a button in and of itself.
It's not a touchpad; it's a giant button.
Yeah,
Like,
it's yeah.
When do they ever? I remember. I think the first game that came out on PS4, which was I played Assassin's Creed Black flag, and that was how you scrolled the map around, and it was the
Yeah.
worst. Like, wouldn't it just be easier to use the joypad? It's like, no, 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 just use your finger. It's just we had to tick this
It's
box. It's
way
okay.
intuitive. Don't worry.
Yeah, so they dropped that like a hot potato, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. The demo sounds, is it like on par with what Diablo 3's demo was? Like it's an intro quest leading up to the first boss, and then they're like, "Thank you for playing Destiny."
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't actually played another demo. Usually I just buy games and then play it for a few hours and see if I like it. This is the first time in a really, really long time that I've actually played a demo, so I don't know what Diablo's was actually like.
Well, you played the
This one-
beta.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess, yeah, that's the only I never played
Beta
the
is different though than
Yeah.
than demos. But no, it was really straightforward. It was easy to get into. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't ever feel like my experience was like. I really hope that I just kind of am able to buy it and continue that character, because I don't feel like I missed anything at all in the demo, other than potentially like having the ability to unlock other abilities. But I really loved the experience. It was fun. Like I told you via text, I got to I had to go back down to the planet after the tower and get my warp drive, and I died, which is another thing I really liked, because I find often in video games I don't die. Like, I mean, the difficulty level felt perfect. I didn't feel frustrated, but at the same time, it was hard enough that I actually died once. And then I was like, oh, I can't just randomly run through this open field, because I will pull everything and then they will kill me, because you can't have cover from every single angle. So
Yeah, you don't. I've died a bit too, like from time to time, but yeah, it never feels the only time it feels frustrating, and I don't know, Janice, if you've been into the Crucible yet, which is the PvP mode. That's the only time I get frustrated with the game, is that everybody's just better than me. And they're also max leveled and they have max gear. Now the gear, I think, is normalized. It's only the weapons and the weapons abilities that actually give you an edge, and your own abilities for that matter. But have you tried the Crucible at all, Janice? Like, you jump in there and start shooting other people?
I have not.
Mhm.
I had 20 deaths in a session on Sunday, and I
Mhm.
go, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore, because I kept trying to figure out how to get to that last boss. But I'm not very good in PvP, but I do die a lot in WoW, so I will probably jump in and do that. And thank you for letting me know where my thrown knives are, because I have a bounty to throw knives, and I couldn't figure out
how to do
how I was
it.
going to get that.
So now, yeah, so you have to switch your. That's the other thing too, is that in this game you are tied to one class, but you can change your subclass whenever you want. So when I get into the Taken King with my character, I'll be able to switch to the new subclass and start leveling that one up. And for those who like every aspect of and should probably state this for everyone. It's like, don't worry, you're not listening to an episode from last year. Like, this is the reason Destiny's doing. We're talking about Destiny now, is that they've actually made a lot of improvements that make the game much easier and friendly to play. Like a year ago, Destiny was not a hot mess, but just like uncomfortable. And that's why a lot of people have like a love-hate relationship with the game. And but now it's in a good place.
Well,
So that's why we're talking about it now.
It's basically mirrored exactly what happened with Diablo. Like, Diablo came out, some people went kind of crazy for it for like a week or two. You had your super hardcore people, because there are super hardcore Destiny people who are just like,
Oh, yeah.
it's the greatest game ever made of life, and anyone who doesn't like it is just not a gamer and crazy balls. So
Yeah, they're pretty volatile.
they
but,
are they are a really, really hardcore group. So
Yeah.
and there was that kind of core fans of Diablo that were the same way, that after Diablo 3 came out, it was like just all in for a few weeks, and then it really died off, because there were a whole bunch of these kind of like quality of life things that Diablo was missing. So when patch 2.0 or Diablo 3 2.0 whatever came out, it was Loot 2.0, that's what it was called. I can't
Yeah.
remember the actual patch number.
It was
But,
literally what happened with Destiny. Like
Yeah.
like you're saying, it's the Loot 2.0 was Destiny 2.0. Like it's the exact same thing, where they pre-expansion released a bunch of quality life improvements into the game, and a lot of people were able to benefit from that, including myself, and you two had just picked up the game after that. Like, this is the best time to play, and anybody who goes around saying like, "Oh man, I played Destiny back in my day." It's the same thing as World of Warcraft. Like, "Oh, I played World of Warcraft back when you had to wait till you were level 40 and it cost 500 gold to get your training." Like, what? That's unheard of. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. And do you remember
it's
when you had to collect arrows?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Yes. And
Not
feed
Remember
your
when
pet.
raiding was 40 people?
Yeah.
No, it's better for the game, and now I'm seeing, and this is what I'm saying. So it sounds, Jocelyn, it sounds like you're gonna pick up the game. That's good.
I think
Now
so.
we have to start a raid.
Yeah.
So us three, Evan will play. So we have an Australian on our team. That's good.
Excellent.
You can give it. Jocelyn convinced Kearney to play. So we just need
Hopefully.
one more.
Did
you'll-
Did he actually say yes? I can't remember. I don't
Who?
think so. Kearney.
He didn't say yes, but I'm saying you could convince.
Oh, I see. I see.
I didn't really try. I just asked, "Hey, Kearney, do you want to play that?" And he just no. Finish it. So maybe he'll let you finish the actual question. Can we play Destiny?
If I say please, I'm sure he'll say yes.
Oh, I didn't say please. Man, he is a man of principle. So, no, I'm really looking forward to playing more Destiny and actually trying some of the stuff that I never actually got to experience and never thought I would experience. Similar to in WoW with raiding, where you need 6 friends. There's no matchmaking. You have to create a party and go in, and it's a literal raid, like just like World of Warcraft, where you have to know like boss mechanics and layouts of mobs and little tricks here and there
Yeah,
to.
I'll stick to PvP.
Well, see, there's PvP as well, so you can do really whatever you want. So, and it's only 6 people, Jocelyn, that you have to organize. You don't have to organize 10 to 15. Out this time.
How come I'm the one who does the organizing and the raid leading? Can I not just go pew 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 people in PvP?
I'm the one that said we'll get 6 people together, but we can all do it. We can all share the burden of being awesome raiders. and there's only 3 raids, and we'll out level 2 of them pretty quickly. Like Vault of Glass is 26, so Janice and I have that knocked out.
Yeah, you're already way.
And I think Crota's End is like probably.
I hit like level 4, I think. So.
Oh, you're gonna boost through it. If you play the original content, like I was 20 and through the content in maybe 3 or 4 sittings.
What's
So
the max level in Destiny? We never really covered that.
it's
40.
40.
Oh, it is 40. Okay. I wasn't sure. 40 was the highest that I saw, but I was like, he was surrounded by people who were like down like 10 and below because it was in the tower part. And I was like, I wonder if that's max level or if he's just like a lowbie like us. Turns out max level. Fair enough.
40's max, and then after 40 it goes into the light system where you're constantly trying to collect gear to make your character better, but they've already.
Oh, so that's
Qual-
like oh crap, what are they called in Diablo? Diablo has it too. Not prestiging.
Paragon?
Paragon. Thank you, Paragon.
But it's
levels,
more it's more related to eye level, like in WoW, where you're constantly trying to get, I need a eye level of 675 so the dragon doesn't eat my brains. Like, yeah, okay, we'll try that.
674, not good enough.
Dragon is just going to eat your brains. You need to get replace that purple scarf. What are you doing?
Because that's the kind of gaming I like, where I need one more eye level point for some total random reason.
Well, like I said, there are only 3 raids, so we don't even have to worry about raids. We can just
Okay.
go in there and enjoy story content and do dailies and all that fun stuff.
Again, I haven't logged into WoW in probably.
Well, when I say dailies, I
6
mean
or so. I'm like, you're really not selling it. Like, I love Warcraft and I love my guild. So if that's not even enough to get me into an MMO to do dailies, then probably not gonna play Destiny.
What if I told you the dailies weren't boring and eye melting, and it was basically just shooting stuff in the face?
Well, you could maybe get me on board for that. Maybe.
It's like it's like PvP, except you're fighting stuff that isn't
That
as
is
smart
predictable.
and easier to kill.
I'd rather PvP.
Oh, PvP, everyone's so good.
That's the point.
Too good. You get in there and they're shooting your head off before you even like pop a cap in their ankle. It's no
Dude,
fun.
I like Call of Duty. Like you're
I love PvP in Destiny. Can you actually play the PvP in the demo? I wonder.
I don't know. I haven't been pointed that way yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not available. Although it kind of depends, like what the max level is. I can't imagine that if you can only get to like level 4 in the demo, if they would let you go in PvP, because you just get your face melted. So might not be, unless there's some like special demo PvP arena or something.
Yeah, well, the PvP is what is normalized. So your level, there's no level advantage unless you're.
Well, yeah, but like any gun or any gear that I would have would be like way under level. So I'd be like doing 12 damage with my gun, and then
See, so Kearney said he would play with us. See, sorry, Jen. I was just reading chat here. Evidently, I didn't ask nice enough. I just had to. I just had to. That's why I queued Jocelyn up. Like, Jocelyn has no interest in Kearney playing. I asked her nicely to ask him nicely. So that's how it works. Anyways, go ahead, Janice.
So is PvP, you queue up, you go in, and then it puts you on a team and you do teams, or I'm gonna go do that tonight. That sounds exciting. I do like I did play Call of Duty Ghosts, and so it's like I need to shoot people in the head.
Oh, see, you guys will be, and that's the other thing too, is that we can create pre-mades and go in as 3 players. But if you're matching in on your own, there's tons of options, especially since you own Taken King. You can go in and play different modes, from free-for-all to just team-based shoot-em-ups to control, which is part of my favorite, which is like capturing little...
Oh, like Capture the Flag? Oh, I love Capture the Flag.
I think there's a variation on Capture the Flag. There's one called Rift, where it's kind of like rugby, where you're trying to get the ball in the middle, and then when you collect the ball, you have to take the ball to the other side and then capture their net, or that's sports, everybody.
Yeah, Ryan does sports ball.
No, you shoot everybody with space guns until and use your warlock powers. No, you have to take what they call the orb of power, sci-fi people, and take it to the rift of the opposing team, and that scores you a point, and it's all round based.
Okay,
that was really cool. But yeah, PvP is all matchmaking. It's really cool.
I'll do that tonight.
Cool. Yeah, I think you'll dig it. It's I like the team stuff. I'm not a big free-for-all guy. I like to have other players who know what they're doing on my side to kind of follow along. Like meat shields, basically.
Yeah, makes sense.
And when they've worn everybody down, I just go in and be like, pop, pop, we're good.
Okay, so I have a question for both of you.
Sure.
It is now September 23rd at almost 9 p.m. I'll probably have to wait till October to pick this up for budgety reasons. Mm-hmm. So that is...
Is this an Animal Crossing question?
No, it's not. So that's a week from now. Actually, no, it is an Animal Crossing question. You're right. So that's a week from now.
Right.
If I pick it up a week from now, do you, Ryan Murphy, and you, Janice Edwards, think that you would still be playing Destiny a week from now, or is this just going to fizzle out?
I don't know. What do you think, Jen? Should we not play in a week? What do you think? Should we have fun for the next week, and then once Jocelyn shows us the receipt, it's like it's not fun anymore, guys?
Yeah, Jocelyn killed it by buying it. God.
What do you think, Janice? I think I know my answer. I think we could stop torturing her now.
Yes, I'm gonna keep playing it.
Yeah, I'll
still
be playing it.
You say that, Ryan, and I don't believe you.
Look, let me just say it this way.
It's Mario Golf all over again.
No, it's not Mario Golf, because this is more. There's more to this game. I've finished the main story content of the original game, and then done the first expansion. I have the second expansion and all of the Taken King. And from what I hear, there is a lot of end game content where after you finish all the story stuff, you can go in and play these really fun raids, not raids, but strikes and heroic missions where you just go in and do the strikes over again with your friends and shoot stuff and get loot and rinse repeat. And lately I've actually been appreciating the fact, like last night I went in and just played PvP, they have a new mode called, not a new mode, but a mode that they introduced in one of the expansions called Prison of Elders, which is my favorite type of mode, which is a horde mode. And I just did that for like an hour. And before I knew it, it's like, well, I only had an hour, so I can't even do story stuff. So I think I'll still be playing in a week, because I'm not finding myself drawn straight to the story stuff. Not because it's lame, but more so because I just want to experience all the things. And then I'm picking up my bounties. Notice how I didn't say the D word, because I know that seems to throw you off. But
yep.
Bounties, and then collecting those and using those to dictate what mode I do. So it's like, get 7 kills in the Crucible. It's like, well, I'll go into the Crucible and shoot some people and then collect my quest and check it off. And it's just,
So they're varied enough that even though they're dailies, you're doing something different every day.
we don't call them dailies anymore. We call them bounties.
Whatever, they're dailies.
And you
They're-
have PvP bounties, you have Crucible bounties, and you have the other ones, which I can't remember, which I've been picking up.
Yeah. So there's Crucible bounties, and then there's just, I don't even know what, yeah, you're right. I don't even know what they're called, but Vanguard bounties maybe. Because that's your like main story vanilla faction. And that's the other thing, Jocelyn. You can grind for rep for factions. I know
Oh
how
my god.
the words that are coming
Why
out of my,
didn't you lead with that?
but it's so fun to grind for faction rep. You cannot even sense the sarcasm in my voice. But it's, in all seriousness, it just happens as you're playing the game. And sure, there's some rewards for getting the faction rep up, but the real meat of the fun in this game is the gameplay, the shooting, the back and forth with your enemies, whether they be AI controlled or human controlled. You know, getting that shot off, getting that force push off to kill your guys, like just survive long enough to refresh your health. It's that 30 seconds of fun that Bungie dictates that makes this game so much fun. I lost my train of thought there, but
I could tell.
I really dig Destiny, and it feels weird to praise it so much a year later, but really it is about getting rid of the things that were really bothering folks when trying to enjoy this game. Like, oh, I really want to enjoy this game by focusing on my bounties, but I have to quit the mode I'm doing, go all the way back to the tower, turn them in, and then go all the way back to the Crucible to do more stuff. And that process takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on whether you're like really snapping through it. But now you can just in between modes hit the options button, go over to your bounties and just go click, 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 all done, back in. Oh, I'm matched back in. Let's go. You know, it's just super quick. And the story just is weaved a lot better now, where they're giving you quests and introducing you to what you need to do next. And like Janice said, they're giving you class-specific quests, like get 5 knife kills, you know? So, I don't know, it's just, again, like you said, Loot 2.0 that gave you that extra boost in usability in Diablo.
For
And
a couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah, but it definitely made the game better, where you were getting more loot, you were getting more rewards for basically clicking like a madman, you know? It's the same thing in Destiny. Like you're still just shooting stuff, but you're getting that extra piece of reward quicker. Hence the 30 seconds of fun ruling, right?
Fair enough. So we're all still going to be playing it. We're probably going to talk a little bit more about Taken King once we do all the endgame content. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, once you decide to pick it up, we'll be talking a whole lot of it. And I will make a promise right here, Janice as our witness, and she will write in and say Ryan was absolutely correct in what he said, and he lived up to his bargain. I will touch base on Destiny each week for a little bit, just to let you know that I'm still playing.
All right. Fair enough. That sounds good.
It's not going to be Animal Crossing. This is not going to be any 3DS game that I ever recommended you. Again, it's not going to be like that. I promise.
All right. So before we move on to our topic of the week this week, I just wanted to give a shout out to our patron of the week. It is Will G this week. So thank you so much for supporting the show. If you would like to be a patron of The Gamers Inn, you can go to patreon.com/thegamersin and help us out. And we have all kinds of really cool stuff brought to you by the patrons, which we will talk about a little bit later. So we have our fall and holiday releases that we're going to be talking about, because there's a lot of really, really cool stuff coming out in the next 2.5, 3 months. So a lot of the stuff that I'm excited about is, not surprisingly, in November, but there's some really cool stuff coming out in October, including, we've got Rock Band 4, but really, is anyone excited about Rock Band 4? Anybody?
That's the reason I threw it in there. I want to know if anyone's really interested in buying Rock Band 4 or Guitar Hero Live for that matter.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I used to love it, but
I think, well, when I used to love it, it was when it was first out, and it would have been my 4th year university. And so I was living in a house full of people, and so then it's fun. But when you're
Yeah.
just like living on your own and stuff and sitting in front of your TV playing Guitar Hero, not really kind of, yeah. Or Rock Band of One. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the same like camaraderie that it did, back 10 years ago or whenever that was. Not quite 10 years
10
ago.
years ago.
Not 10 years ago.
The last time I would have purchased a giant box of plastic toys would have been last week when I got that shipment from Amazon. But if we're talking strictly about Rock Band 4, I haven't bought a Rock Band game since university when, like you said, lived with, a bunch of other dudes or people for that matter and played video games. So I think it's run its course for me, but for those kids who are in college and university now who haven't experienced that sort of situation with other people, like playing Rock Band in university and in college were some of my favorite moments, where we were all just hanging out, singing and jamming and listening to these songs that we loved and being able to interact with them through a video game. It was a lot of fun. So if I was back in that situation, I think I would be really looking forward to these titles, but right now it's definitely not on my radar.
Yeah. What about you, Janice? Did you ever play any of the kind of like rhythm guitar band games?
Yes. A friend had Rock Band, and then I do have various and sundry Guitar Heroes.
And yay or nay? Are you looking forward to the ones coming in October, or is that just going to be kind of another meh, whatever?
Rock Band, no. I'll have to look at Guitar Hero Live and see what it is. I have a bunch that I would like to play through first. It depends on the songs.
Ah, right. So that actually dictates whether or not you pick up a Guitar Hero, is what kind of songs and music they've got going on. I guess that makes sense. Like, there's no point in buying a rhythm song game if you hate all of the songs that are in it.
Or don't know all of the songs.
That's also a possibility.
What if they let you buy the songs that you know?
Ooh.
That's the thing is with Guitar Hero Live, I think you're getting a slimmer availability of songs, but it's more, the reason it's called Guitar Hero Live is that you're buying a service, and then basically you can stream songs that they're offering for that month, is from what I understand how it works. And in that way, it's kind of, it's very different from Rock Band 4. It's less of a, here's all your songs for this title and we'll push out DLC once a week. Whereas Guitar Hero Live is like, this week you're just going to be able to play some Smashing Pumpkins and Foo Fighters. Next week, I don't know. We'll see. But Guitar Hero Live is something that you'll be able to play on pretty much every platform under the sun. So that's a big plus there. Whereas Rock Band 4 is more limited. I think it's only next gen, or current gen, that matter. I think you can get Guitar Hero Live on your iPhone. So maybe that's where I'll play it.
Play it at work when I'm bored.
Yeah, there you go. Like Hearthstone down for maintenance, Guitar Hero Live.
One thing I am really excited about in October is the Uncharted collection. Since I'm new to the whole PlayStation ecosystem, I'm really excited to get my hands into this, because I mean, everyone, when I'm like, oh, should I get Xbox, PlayStation, when I was still having that debate, it was just, oh, have you heard of Uncharted? Because
it's exactly how I sounded, by the way.
Oh, completely.
Spot on.
Completely.
Yeah. That's how I sound when I was, oh, have you heard of The Witcher 3? It's an adult game for adults. It's like, what? What are you talking about?
Is that the one with all the boobies?
Well, there's all the boobies. There are characters that walk around that don't have those. So, come on. Although if Val were here, she'd be like, you could have sex on a unicorn. And I'm not going to do the French accent because that would just be mean, because I do a terrible French accent. But Val knows what I'm talking about.
Yep. But yeah, so the Uncharted collection is coming October 9th. I'm excited about it. Janice, you just picked up a PlayStation as well. Or is Uncharted something you're going to look into?
Yes.
Excellent.
I have a PlayStation 3, and I had Uncharted on PlayStation 3, and I have another friend that just totally loves the Uncharted series. So yes, I will probably pick that up for 4.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
I'm so excited. Civilization Beyond Earth is also coming out that same day. Sorry, the expansion Rising Tides. Obviously, Civilization Beyond Earth is already out. I haven't gotten into this Civilization nearly as much as I have Civilization titles in the past. I don't know what it is. But for whatever reason... I played a little bit. I played a few matches, but like when, and it's probably just totally a function of time, because I know when Civ 3 first came out, I played, God, I don't even know. Like that was pre-Steam, pre/played type stuff, but it's
You don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know because I sunk so much time into that game. And then 4 came out and it was pretty cool and I played a lot of that, and then 5 came out and I was kind of like, eh. And then Beyond Earth came and we played. I feel like
We did a game night. I
we
believe.
we did do
Yeah.
a game night. I'm like, I know you and I played something, and yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a game night, and that might be the last time that I played, and pretty much the only time that I played Beyond Earth. So it's kind of unfortunate because Civilization is just, it's one of those kind of games that I don't get to actually sit down and play very often because it's such a huge time sink, and especially in an era of, you know, like I had Warcraft going on. I was playing a ton of that. Hearthstone, obviously, like Hearthstone is so digestible. Like it's like, I have half an hour. What am I going to do? I'm going to play a match or two of Hearthstone. Like I'm in and out. But you can't just in and out of Civilizations. Like you have to sit down, and it's like, if you're going to do that, it's like a crazy D&D session. Like you sit down and you are there for hours.
Yeah,
There's-
that's a title that I can't. Civ 5 like would take away entire weekends, and I'm like, you know what? That's my $40. I'm happy to step away. I don't need.
I played for 1 week and it was $40 of entertainment. Now I can never touch it again.
Yeah. I grew facial hair while playing that game, and I never grow facial hair. So that's how long I sat and played that game.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you a
So,
Civ fan at all, Janice?
Nope,
No, not ever. Not at all. Oh, man.
not at all.
That makes me so sad. Just because like I said, I loved it so much that when I hear people that haven't played it or don't like it, I'm like, no.
she's gonna play Uncharted,
That's
which
true. Yeah, that's
is the not. I'm not gonna say superior, but it's definitely the more approachable game.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true. Civ
yeah.
is, especially now, it's gotten quite complicated, and there's a whole bunch of different systems in it and a whole bunch of different things you have to earn and resources you have to balance and tech trees, and plus you've got all the combat as well, and it is way more complicated now than it was back in my day. So I can
Yeah.
see how it would be, you know, kind of a bit of a barrier to entering a Civilization game now if you don't have that love of it from, you know,
Yeah.
10 years ago sort of thing. So,
It can be a
Um,
tough one to jump into.
yeah, I think, Janice, are you a Nintendo girl? Do you have a Wii U or anything?
I do have a Wii. Yeah, I have a Wii, not a Wii U.
Oh, yeah, see, I have a Wii as well. I don't have the Wii U. So, Ryan, you are the only one who could potentially be excited about Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah. Well,
Thoughts?
I mean, I'm into cute things. Are you guys into cute things?
I'm totally into cute things.
Yeah. I mean, if you've seen that Yoshi yarn amiibo, you might just want to pick that up.
I
then-
did see it. It's really, really adorable, and I definitely thought about getting it. And I'm like, Jocelyn, you don't even have a Wii U. What are you thinking about getting amiibos? You're an idiot.
Yeah.
These
Oh,
are
that's
the
a
conversations I have with myself in my head.
Don't be so mean to yourself.
Oh, I'm
Amiibos
a
are
total
cool.
bitch.
You should buy as many as you can. Is what I've always been told. But no, Yoshi's Woolly World, I played it a bit when I was in Toronto for that event. It was a lot of fun. And it seems like it would be a cool platformer. But for me, it's more about how long it'll be able to stick around, considering what it's surrounded by. I might have to veto that title just because it's so close to Uncharted Collection and a lot of these other titles we're gonna touch on. But the Wii U could use a dusting off, and I always like a good platformer. And this one seems to be more tailored to your average gamer as opposed to the other cutesy looking platformers that Nintendo's done, where they're more curated for the younger crowd.
Yeah.
Like Kirby's Epic Yarn was basically I don't know, like a E for everyone for a reason. It was very approachable. It was very simple.
Easy?
It was easy. It was fun though. Like just because it's easy doesn't mean it's not fun. It's just it was very easy to get through, and you were done in a weekend. And it's like, oh, okay. Whereas Yoshi's Woolly World might be a little more involved in something like a Mario game where it's.
I was
easy.
gonna say, so that's kind of where I'm going with this. Is you're talking about needing a platformer. Are you already done with Mario Maker? Like this,
No,
this
I'm
is what
not.
happens to you. It's been
I
like
know.
what, a week or two since Mario Maker. You were all yay, and now you're
mean,
like, I need to dust off the Wii U. Like, have you not touched it since you?
You're right. Like I was looking. This is the book I was looking at because I just unpackaged Mario Maker, and it's basically this booklet that comes with your Mario Maker, and it contains like codes for levels that Nintendo has designed that you can input and unlock them just by like reading through this book. And and like I said, it's an infinite Mario making game. Like you could log in and say, I feel like playing a platformer that was more like Super Mario Brothers. Like, okay, I'll jump in and play some Super Mario Brothers levels. It's a constant server of amazing platforming goodness. So yeah, you're right. Probably, but there's no woolly worlds in Super
Ah,
Mario.
I
Jocelyn.
see. I see. So what you basically need is a woolly skin over your Mario Maker,
Yeah,
and
the
then you'll
best
be happy.
is you can scan your amiibos in Yoshi's Woolly World, and that unlocks cute looking woolly Yoshis memed after whatever amiibo you scans. BBB Mario, that Yoshi will have a Mario skin, but made out of wool. Again,
I
sarcasm.
see.
You're right. I should probably Uncharted. That's gonna be the game that pretty much eats up my October.
Really?
Um,
Because there's also an Assassin's Creed coming out on the 23rd. So are we at the point where we're just exhausted with this Assassin's Creed? Are you still excited about what's going on there?
hmm.
Feelings, thoughts?
I've played all of them except for Unity in the main series, and I have Unity now on two platforms thanks to Packins. But
Is
uh,
Unity's the one that came out last year with France, right?
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
which
that's the one I haven't. I've played Black Flag, but I haven't played Unity.
I want to give it another shot, but that means I probably, because I'm this linear completionist, I would need to finish Unity, even though Syndicate has nothing to do. Like Ubisoft has basically recognized the fact that people aren't going to be able to play all of these games for the story every year. So they've
So they've just eliminated story.
well,
They're
not
just like, here's a new place for you to stabby stab people.
well, basically they haven't removed story. They've just removed the connecting tissue. Like in the first three games, there was like Desmond, who was
I
the constant
know.
character, and then for whatever reason, they decided to just be like, you're a programmer and you go back in time. It's all good, Stabby stab, France people, like
Stabby stab the France people.
yeah, back when
Oh man.
there was a lot of stabby stabbing going on. It's a historical masterpiece, really.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I don't know, but Jack the Ripper, like you can play as a male or a female character this time around. So Ubisoft hired people who knew how to do that. They
yep.
said it's too hard last year. So kudos to them for
Yeah.
sorting that out.
Janice, are you excited about Assassin's Creed?
Yes, I need to get through Assassin's Creed 3 and build up to it and Black Flag, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. My cats like when I play downstairs on the recliner with the console.
Ah.
And so they liked me playing Destiny, even though it's a game I'm jumping up and down. They like to sit on my lap when I do that. So I'm going to have to pay more attention to that and give them more attention. And so, yes. And I need to do that really quickly because then Halo 5 comes out. So,
That was going to be my next question. Do you have an Xbox and are you going to pick up Halo 5? Because everyone knows that I'm not touching Halo 5 with a 10-foot pole.
That's my fault. Sorry, everybody.
yes, I will be picking up Halo 5. I have an Xbox.
Good, good. So, what's your favorite Halo game out of the whole series so far? This is a test. It's not
This
a
is a
test.
test.
I have no favorites.
What? No, Jocelyn, your favorite is which one you hated the least. Which
I was gonna say,
probably
which one did I get through quickest? That's my favorite.
Because didn't you like?
Yeah,
turn
that's
it
true.
back into
I did. I managed to actually turn Halo 4 back into EB
money.
within like I think it was whatever I want to say it was the first week, might have been the first 5 days, but they had like a special program going on at EB where it's like if you turned your game back in within a very, very small period of time of the release window, the game only, it was like renting the game. I think I got $45 back or something like that. So
Yeah.
normally when you recycle a game and turn it back in, you only get like half the value at best. And I ended up getting almost the full value for Halo 4 back. I was just like, nope, I want dollars. This is crap.
They're great games. The people who love Halo really love Halo. So
I think I was just, yeah, because we did, and for those of you who are new to Gamers Inn, we did Road to Halo 4, which I'd never had an Xbox. I was not a Halo person. So we played every single Halo title leading up to Halo 4. And I believe we did a different title. Was it once every 2 weeks or was it actually once a week?
we actually did the math where it was like every 3 weeks because we did every Halo game. We did ODST, we did Reach. If we had just done the main series or maybe even picked and choose like
I don't know
ones that
because
are
one of the
approachable.
different ones, it might have been ODST, was actually the one I enjoyed the most. Was that the one
Yeah.
you had the squad?
Yes,
Yeah.
ODST is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
my favorite too.
that's
Yeah.
the one that I really enjoyed. The other Halos were kind of meh to me. I think I was playing through them too quickly to actually care about the story at all. Um, but and
Beat
Tweep
this.
in the chat room is saying, ODST, why did you suffer through that? That's so funny.
Oh, ODST is straight up the best one. It's got the best music because it's different. You play
Yeah.
4 games in a series and then get to ODST and it's just a complete opposite of what you're used to. And that's when you really get to showcase. I feel so strongly about ODST, but
We won't get way into all of that,
No.
but I think that's why is we did that for months. That was what I was playing, was just all of these old Halo games leading up to Halo 4. So when I finally got to Halo 4, I was just like, oh my god, if I complete this in like 3 days, I literally played it over a weekend. I was like, if I complete this, I can get most of my money back. So I'm just gonna power through, and then we're gonna talk about it, and then I never have to Halo again. So
yeah, and that's why I usually give you like a heads up when we're like, hey, if we're gonna play like Until Dawn or Life is Strange for this episode, let's give you like 2 weeks so you don't have to do that.
You have to treat me with little kid gloves now.
Not kid. I wouldn't even. No, kid gloves is not what I'm. It is. It's more just I don't like rushing through a game. I remember when we did Mass Effect 3, and it's like you have to beat it by this amount of time, or else we're just gonna spoil the whole thing. And I'm like, God. So I had to rush, not rush. Well, I went a little quicker than I would have normally gone through it, but I finished it.
Yeah,
And no one
see,
likes being under a deadline.
with Mass Effect 3, I never felt like I was under a deadline because I was playing through it so quickly anyway, because I couldn't put it down. I never felt like I was like, oh my god, I have to finish Mass Effect 3. It was like, oh my god, when can I finish Mass Effect 3? Like, I need to play that game. And I didn't feel like that with Halo. Like, I really just did not care about the story of Halo. And it's
Yeah.
probably because it was just so condensed. If I'd actually picked it up and been playing along with everybody else, it probably would have been fine. But I'll be fine to just check out YouTube and get the story, because I have this obsession that I have to know. It's very like OCD of me. Once I start a story, I actually need to know how it ends, even if I hate the story, even if it's absolutely
Wait, what?
terrible. Yeah, no, like, dude,
you
I
YouTube
I
Halo
watched
5?
True Blood start to finish, and I hated that show after episode 2, and I watched it all the way just to see how it finished. I know, it's like an OCD thing. I can't just like let a story just be out there without knowing the ending.
And people, wow. Okay.
I know.
Let's have a
I know.
Because it's funny, like going through university, I'd rent these terrible games, and Kearney would be sitting behind me, and it's just like, why are you playing this terrible Sonic game? Is that boss super huge and now you're flying and you have a helicopter friend? I'm like, yes, it's terrible, but I have to finish it because I have to finish it. So, Kearney, I hope you know what you're getting into. You're gonna have to watch True Blood.
No, I'm done with True Blood now. It's
What
finished.
if they come out with a spin-off series called
Oh, yeah.
True Blood?
Truer Blood.
But really, the whole point of this conversation is confirmed Road to Mass Effect Andromeda happening.
Yes. For a second, I was still in Halo space, and I was like, Road to what? No, Ryan.
To blank, and you just kind of like, what? No, we're not doing that again, Ryan. What if I said Road to Life is Strange Season 2? Unacceptable.
Yeah, no more roads, Ryan. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
You don't want roads.
Oh man, so that pretty much does it for October. In November, this is where things start to get really interesting. We've got all kinds of awesome. We've got Call of Duty Black Ops 3, we've got Fallout 4, we've got Rise of Tomb Raider, we've got Legacy of the Void, and Star Wars Battlefront. So out of that list, what is the thing you are most excited about, Janice?
It's a tie.
Oh.
Call of Duty, and Legacy of the Void.
Oh, nice. Another StarCraft fan. I love it. So they're two completely different games. So is that
Which
why
is
it's
why
a tie? What was that, Ryan? Sorry.
Sorry, I was just saying, which is why the tie works. I mean, because they're so different, you can, jump, and they're both very smaller experiences in the grand scheme of the other games that are listed here. Like, you can jump in, shoot a little bit, jump out, go be a psionic warrior dude for a little bit, doing this for some reason. So yeah,
That's
those are
totally how
called-
they fight. Like they're speed bagging. That's a thing.
They are speed.
Yeah, I'm a huge StarCraft fan, so Legacy of the Void in November is what I'm looking forward to. Although Call of Duty, like they're all amazing titles. They're all ones I'm gonna pick up and play. Like November is just gonna be probably the craziest month of my life ever. Like that's literally everything's happening in November. We've got BlizzCon, we've got Extra Life, we've got a move. I've got to move, not we have a move. I'm moving, and then we've got all of these super awesome titles that are coming out, and I'm just like. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I don't know how I'm gonna juggle all of this.
I mean, this right now for me, I look at this slate of games in November and I'm just like, I'm not going to be able to play any of these titles come January, so I'm going to play all of them now. So, but maybe not Call of Duty. I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, and I know everybody's all gung ho for Battlefront. I am intrigued by Battlefront, but I want to see it release and see how it does. I'm not as hardcore a Star Wars fan. I don't think you're a hardcore Star Wars fan either, Jocelyn,
No,
are you?
no, I think we're both in the same boat. I didn't
Yeah.
see Star Wars until I was about 20, so
Yeah.
I didn't have the crazy childhood. Like literally everything that could possibly happen in Star Wars had and be like exciting or surprising had already been spoiled for me by pop culture. So, the whole like I am your father thing. I was just like, yep, I've known that since I was 12, even if I didn't know where it came from. Like, so
Yeah, like everybody knows that.
yeah,
but
everyone knows all that kind of stuff that came from the original Star Wars. So I never had that connection to Star Wars the way a lot of my nerd friends did. So Star
Yeah,
Wars
I'm-
for me is kind of meh. Sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
Sorry, nerds.
Man, it's such a. I hate when people do that. It's bad. It's like, oh come on, it's Star Wars. It's probably one of the most popular franchises in existence. Like we
Yeah.
can give it a little more credit than meh. Uh, but I'm super excited for the new movie. But the game is just. I'll watch other people play it, and I know like James super excited for Star Wars. But yeah, the prequel trilogy was. It came out when I was more coherent to these types of movies. My father's not a huge geek, so I never really watched a lot of Star Wars. It was just sort of there. Although my mother was huge into Star Trek. She watched Next Generation like it was going out of style. But yeah, no, that this list like Fallout 4 has me intrigued, but it's another one of those like huge giant sink all your hours in, and I've been doing well with those this year. I mean, The Witcher 3, I totally beat it in a week. But Rise of the Tomb Raider is the reason I picked up an Xbox One alongside Halo 5. So I'm really excited for Rise of the Tomb Raider and obviously Legacy of the Void. But
Obviously, everyone should be excited about StarCraft.
Yeah.
I
Well, I have
can't
to
wait
play
to play
Legacy
as
of the Void.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Protoss campaign is going to be so interesting. I can't wait to see how they tie that whole thing together. It's just, and every single time I see a trailer for that game, I get goosebumps. Like, my life for hire. I'm like, yes! Oh my god, it's gonna be
I
so
don't know what to
good.
say. Yeah, it's one of those titles that has been the story's been being told since like for the last 8 years, I guess, and even before that, not including just StarCraft, or the original StarCraft, but just the trailers leading up to the release of StarCraft 2. Like that was a good 3 years from announcement to Wings of Liberty. So we're looking at 10 years of like StarCraft 2, and it's crazy that we're finally getting a conclusion to this story, and I don't know how they end it. Like I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
it's
And
crazy.
the thing is, like, they're so good at all of the cinematics and everything else. Like the storytelling, even though it is an RTS, which generally you wouldn't think would lend itself to such deep storytelling. They do such a good job with everything that's like in between each of your little campaigns that it's like watching a movie alongside playing a video game. Like it's so good. Oh
It
man,
is.
so good. So that brings us up to December with Just Cause 3 and Xenoblade Chronicles. Are you guys excited about either one of those? Because I'm actually kind of excited that December isn't crazy game heavy because I can just take all of November's and have it bleed into November, or all of November's have it bleed into December when I actually will have lots and lots of time to play and stream and have fun.
Yeah. I mean, Just Cause 3 looks to be one of those like awesome sandbox type games, type experiences. Great for streaming. So you two like looking to get into streaming, like this is a title that is something that you should definitely look into because it's just like a madhouse. And those are the best games for streaming where you're going to get a different experience each time you play it.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
with Just Cause 3, you have the grappling hook and the open world, and it's totally worth checking out. I'm interested in it, but again, like it's another one of those open worlds, and unlike most people who will just be happy to get in and cause mayhem, I'll actually want to finish the story, and it's like that's getting dangerously close to put everything down video game related mode and pick up an iPhone in one hand and baby in the other. So but we'll see. Although then I wrote down Xenoblade Chronicles, which is a Wii U exclusive, massive open world RPG fantasy Japanese game. So
how Japanese is it, Ryan?
It's very Japanese. There's like giant robots and giant dinosaurs and giant swords and giant
everything.
13-year-old girls, and it's just. Although I think they actually retconned and made the weird 13-year-old girl actually 15-year-old, which I don't know how that makes it better. But I guess they have to retain a bit of the Japanese.
Man.
Again, Val knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Val would
she's
know
into this
all
stuff.
of the answers to all of our anime questions.
Anime, yeah, exactly. Next time you ask what is Xenoblade Chronicles, it's anime, I think.
I think.
Yeah, but it's a Wii U exclusive, so it's funny when you look at this. Like if you look at this, there are 3 titles on this list coming out on Wii U.
Which
the
is
rest
crazy.
Are everything else.
Yeah.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So that's pretty sad. Yep.
They were doing so well there for a while too.
They were. I mean, like this is gonna probably be their worst holiday season, considering last year they had Smash and the year before that they had Super Mario World. So you look at this and they don't have that title, which was because Zelda got delayed and now Star Fox got delayed. So yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World's been out for months in Europe, and Xenoblade Chronicles is a super Japanese game that will be tough to gain traction over here. But it's nice that they're putting it out for us. So I don't know. We'll see.
Very, very cool. Well, I am looking forward to basically our fall holiday season in gaming. There's
Me too.
Man, Legacy of the Void, it's gonna be so good. I want it now. Technically, I have beta now, but I'm not playing it. I'm just kind of waiting for the full release.
Isn't that just multiplayer though?
Well, yeah. But even then, I'm just I want to be surprised. I was just chomping at the bit to get it, and then I got it, and I played a couple times, and I was like, I need to just let it go. Just wait. So yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody before we move on to our listener feedback, we have game night tomorrow night. It is at 8 p.m. Eastern. We don't actually have any game suggestions yet, so if you are a patron, you are the reason that we do game night. So head on over to patreon.com/thegamersin. The post is up, and make sure you put in the comments what you want to see us play. Also, we wanted to remind you guys, it is Extra Life time. Oh my god! So it's happening. So we have a bit of a conflict because Extra Life actually falls on BlizzCon. So November 7th, Ryan and James are actually going to be doing something. They're going to stream for a couple of hours to kind of get in on that Extra Life hype when it's actually happening. But the Gamers In 24-hour event is actually going to be the following weekend. So that will be November 14th. So we will have, again, our 24-hour stream. We'll be streaming on Amove. We'll be streaming on our personal channels. We'll be all over the place doing all kinds of things. We'll have a full schedule up for you guys on gamersinpodcast.com. That will probably be up as soon as it's finalized, which will be later on in October. We're really looking forward to, we've got a lot of guests coming on. We've got a lot of games to play. We are going to have a ton of fun. And we are going to raise a whole heck of a lot of money for the kids. So last year, I think we came pretty close to $3,500. So we're going to try to top that this year. And so if you'd like to donate, do we have a Bitly link this year yet? Have we done that?
Not yet. We don't really have anywhere to point them, but once we get the preliminary stuff set up, some folks still have to set up their profiles, but once we get all the preliminary stuff done, we'll start
By
sending
some folks,
links
you
out.
mean me, don't you?
You and James. I mean, I jumped the gun as I always do, but like
Yeah, Ryan was like way back in July. Okay, guys, so Extra Life planning. We're like,
got me some
damn
slack
it, Ryan.
here. I'm not that bad. It was August, and I for one look forward at other people's schedules and see like, oh, okay, James is starting a new job. You're gonna be moving, going to a wedding, doing BlizzCon, streaming full time, which is after, Anyways, we're all very busy and picking up other projects while we go, including we didn't even talk about our D&D thing that we did, which
That
I
is
should have
true. We did a
thrown
really
in.
cool D&D thing. So teasers
Yeah.
for next week. We'll talk about our super fun D&D
Yeah.
thing. But
It'll be
so
fun.
again,
Yeah.
Extra Life, November 7th and 14th. There will be all kinds of really cool content for you guys. So as soon as we have the donation links set up, we will post that, and you guys can help us out with our Extra Life campaign again. It's a ton of fun every year, and
Oh, it's
you guys watching, I mean, it doesn't feel like work. It never feels like work. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm also really looking forward to the Sunday after when I can just sleep. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I think I have company coming that day.
Dumbass.
It wasn't my doing. And last year there was life events that occurred that same day as well, which was out of my control. But I don't know, like 4 hours of sleep's good enough. So, we'll be
Yeah.
fine.
So we did get an email this week from Mike, who was talking to us about the Bloodborne expansion. He says, just excited about the announcement of Old Hunters expansion to Bloodborne. Wondering if you guys are excited as well. I recently dove back into the game and have made it past Rom, the spider boss, and the game completely flipped on me. Makes me wonder how long this game really is. Have either of you gotten into this game, or did you miss it?
Yeah. Janice, have you played any Bloodborne? I know. Well, actually, you just got your PS4. Are you interested in Bloodborne? I should ask.
Don't know yet. I heard Patrick talk about it today, so I just need to do a little bit more research and look at it. I don't know, with all the games that are coming in October in 2 weeks. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, Bloodborne's one of those interesting titles that, to me, and this isn't saying much, it's a more accessible Dark Souls. So Dark Souls is this very punishing series, and I know a lot of people who play Dark Souls like, it's not punishing, it's rewarding, Ryan. It's like, no, anything
No.
that kills you every 3 seconds is punishing, and not poor game design, but just I hate the people who are playing this game design. If you kind of catch my drift.
Yeah.
Bloodborne's a little more accessible in that you feel like you're actually more empowered over your enemies, as opposed to having your enemies being more powerful than you are. So that being said, I was into Bloodborne and really enjoyed what I had played of it, but it was never a title I ever anticipated or even wanted to finish, because again, you're going to get to that point where and the story is very Japanese. It's very incomprehensible. Like, you don't know what's going on. There's some weird things turning into blood, other things that shoot lightning out of their face and have weird canes and top hats. And this is just from what I'm remembering, so this could just be poor memory. But anyways, they're coming up with an expansion, and I remember actually Kearney was on, and we talked about Bloodborne. He's finished it like 6 times, so he's super into Bloodborne. I wonder if he's excited about this expansion, because he loves to punish himself with video games. Isn't he like he's like playing some other stuff too? Like, he loved Dark Souls, so
Yeah. He's an odd one.
yeah. I mean, but it's all good. I'm interested in the expansion. It does look like to be more story focused and more weapons focused. So they're adding a bunch of, if you watch the trailer, they're adding a bunch of cool new weapons. And that's the one thing that I really enjoyed in Bloodborne, was that the weapons were just really imaginative and really cool, and they flipped out really cool, and it's just really, really neat. So I don't know. Anyone who enjoyed Bloodborne is probably really looking forward to the expansion.
I remember looking at the reviews of this game and thinking, that actually might be something I could get into, because I got probably about 10 minutes into Dark Souls and just wanted to snap the disc in half. So, but then I remember reading it just basically that Bloodborne was similar, but it's like they fixed all the things that were really frustrating about Dark Souls in Bloodborne, but it's still exactly the same sort of a game.
Yeah.
So
it's the Loot 2.0 patch.
of Dark Souls, yeah.
Of Dark Souls,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, so I remember wanting to get into it, but I think I'm going to have the same sort of problems, and I think it's going to be that way for anything that comes out with an expansion anytime soon. It's really hard. That obviously doesn't apply to Legacy of the Void, because I really feel like those are standalone games. Like, those don't feel like expansions to me. Anyways, it's going to be really hard to get excited about an expansion for something when there are so many big, huge titles coming out in the next little while. So expansions are cool, but I think I'm going to keep my gaming time to some of the more like full-blown games. But I'm sure I will see a lot of Bloodborne in my near future, because I'm sure that that's what Matt's going to be picking up. So
Well, you could try it.
I could try it.
on the
That's true.
PS4.
That's true. I could give it a shot. So yeah, I think that pretty much does it for us tonight. Janice, thank you so much for joining
Yes,
us.
thank you.
Yes, it was a wonderful treat to have a new voice on the show. It doesn't happen for us very often, so thanks for coming on. Just one more time before we go, where can people find you? Your Twitter, your Twitch, all that fun stuff. Pimp all the things.
Twitter is at Lady Deathstrike, LDYSTRK. Excuse me, I spelled that wrong. LDYDTHSTRK. And Twitch channel is Lady50, LDY50.
So again, thank you so much for joining us. Again, guys, Janice came to us as part of the Alpha Geek Indiegogo. So again, if you want to support Alpha Geek, you can do so anytime. You can go to their website and throw them a donation. We should be getting, or Alpha Geek should be getting, a whole bunch of new equipment to help us streamers give you more accessible content. So we're really excited. Thank you so much, Janice, for the support of the network. It means
thank you.
so much to us.
And if you need a third voice,
anytime you want to come back, we haven't scared you
Sure.
away from the whole podcasting experience.
nope, this is fun. Talking about games.
Yeah, right?
We've already made a pact that we're going to keep playing Destiny. So when Jocelyn buys Destiny and we start raiding and doing our bounties and our crucibles and our reefs and our prisons.
I'm just saying, when I pick it up in a couple of weeks, if you guys are still playing, it will be a miracle. Not so much you, Janice. I believe you. It's Ryan that I think is full of shit.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Well, okay. I have a terrible track record with games. I will be honest. But Destiny's got its hooks in me, so we'll
All right.
see.
We'll see how it goes. If you'd like to visit us on the web, you can do so at gamersinpodcast.com. You can also find us on AMU TV along with the other fabulous podcasts, including StarCast, Into the Nexus, and The Angry Chicken. You can follow us on Twitter. You can find me, Jocelyn, at Joss Plays. That's JOCE Plays. Ryan is at R Murphy. And don't forget to follow the show at The Gamers Inn. The video versions of all our episodes can be found on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/AMoveTV. You can also find the show on Facebook and Google+. If you'd like to email us and let us know what you think about Destiny and the Taken King, you can do so by emailing us at info@gamersinpodcast.com. So thanks for staying at the Gamers Inn, and remember, tune in next week. See you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.